What's up, everybody? We're back.
Yeah! Hey, welcome back to a Metalhead's Journey. Hey, so we're back this week. We're doing the top 20 hair metal albums of all time. This is Extreme. This is the album Extreme 2, Pornograffitti. Listen, let's not waste any more time doing this review than we have to. Let's just get right into it and get going. Extreme, this is number 18, by the way. Extreme, formed in 1985, is an American rock band formed in Boston, Massachusetts. I do find it interesting that we're doing back-to-back weeks with bands formed in Boston.
Yeah, what
and also, bands that have only released 6 studio albums.
Wow.
Very
That's
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
Vocalist Gary on the polar opposites.
Well, yeah, because this album beats the shit out of that fucking Boston record from last week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, hey, vocalist Gary Cherone and drummer Paul Geary were in a band together called The Dream. Guitarist Nuno Betancourt joined the band in 1985, and bassist Pat Badger joined in 1986. The name Extreme came from them saying they were ex-Dream members. Like, they were in the Dream, but now they're ex-Dream members. That's where it came from.
Are you serious?
So it has nothing to do with the music. Well, that was obvious once you hear the record. That there's nothing extreme about their sound at all.
Oh my God, are you for real?
Yeah, Extreme has released 6 studio albums, including the album named Six, released in 2023.
Was that their 6th album?
It was.
So these guys, they are
creative.
They are wordsmiths. They are creative. All right,
Dude, they're experts in nameology. And they've also sold over 10 million records. So what the fuck do we know? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say like 8 million of that is this record.
Not based on what I read here. Pornograffitti, released in 1990, is the band's 2nd studio album. This album peaked at number 10 on the Billboard charts and was certified double platinum. So only 2 times. That might have only been in the U.S. though. More Than Words was a massive hit on the record, reaching number 1 on the Billboard chart. This album featured 5 singles.
5 singles.
That's ridiculous.
What year did this come out again?
1990. The same year as Painkiller. You got Decadence Dance. You got Get the Funk Out. You got More Than Words, which was the 3rd single. Wholehearted and Song for Love.
Wow.
So, as you may have noticed, we are down a member this week. Jonah is not feeling too well. He did send in his notes though, so we'll be hearing from Jonah in spirit. While we're going here, Jason, the Human Fossil. Why don't you start us off, dude? Why don't you hit us up with just your general thoughts of the record?
Okay, so I was
keep it fast, all right?
I was semi more familiar, I guess, with this album simply because of that song, More Than Words. I'm gonna just wrap it up and say that it was just as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Okay, I'm gonna have my own thoughts first, and then I'll go ahead and read Jonah's since I have them. So we did that reaction to Get the Funk Out. I thought it was all right. It kind of gave me like pseudo Red Hot Chili Peppers funk metal vibes, and honestly, I was a little bit initially like, okay, and I knew the song More Than Words, so I was like a little bit excited. Excited is a strong word. I was optimistic. Unfortunately, the optimism ended rather quickly after maybe like halfway through the second listen of the album. And overall, I would say I did not enjoy my time with this record outside of like 2 or 3 songs that I think are all right. I'm going to read Jonah's notes now. His is a little more lengthy, so bear with me. He says, really good production. All the instruments sound really good. Nuno Betancourt, Shred God. His guitar playing is the only saving grace from this record. Otherwise, it's a bunch of pretty standard hair metal thematically and musically. In terms of chord progression and musical tropes of the genre, which is kind of baffling considering the year this album came out, which was well past the peak of hair metal popularity. So, it was derivative upon arrival. The album is way too long. He was ready for it to be over about halfway through.
Yep, 65 minutes, dude. No business
with
being that long.
With a few exceptions, this proves that hair metal, along with nu metal, hasn't really stood the test of time too well thus far.
Whoa!
Why
is nu metal catching strays over here?
And I'll leave it at that. That's his initial reactions.
All right.
Listen, no need to beat this thing to death. What a terrible album. I mean, it's definitely in the worst 50 albums I've ever heard in my entire life. I am blown away by how bad this record is. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. I couldn't muster another listen just to kind of put my notes together today.
It was all I could to get through this last listen, and like I said, I meant to listen to it twice today, and I was barely able to get through the last run through.
And it's unbelievable because look, I'm going to go into my MVP here, and we may need to rename the Steve Vai Award. This may need to be the Nuno Betancourt Award because the only thing that is decent on this record, and decent's probably underselling. I don't want to undersell Nuno. Jonah said Shred God. That's exactly right. Like this dude, like the leads on this record are super good. And there are a plethora of good riffs on this record to pull from when we get to best riff here in a second. So I think that's the even more like aggravating part of it is like you get this really good performance from Nuno Betancourt. And Gary Cherone, I mean, he doesn't just shit on it. Dude, I mean, he takes a big steam, he drops a Cleveland steamer on Nuno Betancourt's chest. That's how bad he ruins this record, okay? My MVP is Nuno.
Okay, I'll go next real quick. Nuno is obviously Jonah's. He made a point to say obvious MVP is Nuno. Now, Jonah did say Gary Cherone, runner-up MVP, perfect hair metal vocals throughout the album.
Get out.
I mean, he's not here.
Jonah can't come back.
Stay sick. Wow.
Yeah.
So Nuno for me is. I completely agree with Josh. I think we need to offline revisit the Steve Vai Award. Meaning, for those that don't know, the Steve Vai Award, potentially renamed to the Nuno Betancourt Award, is the award for a band member who has a fantastic performance, but the album still sucks. So it's funny how that award was created for another hair metal release on this list, and we're two albums ahead, and we're already thinking about renaming the award because we've got a worse offender. Josh, I couldn't agree more. Nuno is the only reason that my top three songs are even remotely tolerable. This is now 2 of 3 hair metal releases that have been nearly unlistenable, and
it's getting worse.
Yes,
that's the thing that's crazy. Yeah. The rock list, unbelievably, has gotten better from Rush to Queen to Boston in terms of our total scores. This is getting worse.
This is making me now. Look, we can get into it, but this is making me incredibly concerned for the rest of this list. Specifically, I think as of right now, my stance is hair metal is 100% a gimmick. And after hearing the album once, unless you grew up with the material, you're done with it. As of right now, that is my current stance. I'm waiting to be proven wrong. by some album, but as of right now, like the first listen of this record was tolerable. Literally, the very next listen, I was already done with 90% of this record.
Oh,
Jason, who's your MVP?
oh, it's not even close. Like, I don't think the vocalist is awful, but if he's also the primary songwriter or lyricist, God, dude, that is it. It
Yes.
absolutely just ruins this album.
And that's what I mean with Gary Sharon. I'm not look, his vocal abilities, whatever. It's his songwriting, it's the lyrics. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
Whoever's
we'll get
writing the
into it.
lyrics is not good.
Yeah, we'll get into it. I have the perfect example of where we're going to go with that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Or if we're ready to go into best riffs.
Best riff, yep.
All right, so this is the perfect example. For me, best riff is the opening funk heavy riff that they have on "It's a Monster."
Oh, okay.
Also might be one of the best bridges. It leads into a very good solo. Love all of it. Uh, it is a shitty song.
Spoiler. Oh, I was about to say spoiler alert, but never mind.
Yeah, no, spoiler alert, it still didn't make my top 3 because of the lyrics.
Oh.
It turns into what sounds like a pop boy band chorus. It just
Spoiler, it's one of the songs I
terrible.
cut.
It barely made the cut on mine.
My favorite riff is it's like the chorus riff slash lick from He-Man Woman Hater. That is that is actually a song, unironically, I would just listen to, and it's one of the few songs that I would like. Like if that came on, I probably wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
And let me see if Jonah has best riff. Is the main riff from He-Man Woman Hater after the intro shred solo and no women allowed. No women allowed. So there you go.
Yeah. That is also my favorite riff on the record. Same spot. I will throw in an honorable mention, which is the last, I don't know, 15 or 20 seconds of Decadence Dance, and it goes into like a little halftime thing there. That is a nice riff as well. I'll go into my top tracks here. It's top 3 tracks. Number 3 for me is Decadence Dance. God, it's not a good song though. It's just, it is what it is.
It's the longest song on the record, and it made my cut of the album, but whatever.
Yeah, Decadence Dance. These top 2 songs I think are pretty good songs. Number 2 for me, He-Man Woman Hater, and number 1, say what you want to say about it, but More Than Words is quite honestly maybe the only tolerable thing really on this record.
Go ahead, Dave.
Um,
I'll go last.
Okay, so Jonah and I share the same 3 songs, although slightly different order here. For Jonah, number 3, Get the Funk Out. He mentions the bass intro slaps, and it's just a jam. His number 2, He-Man Woman Hater. Bullet points here. Shred God. The intro is insane. Main riff is so good. Solo rips, of course. And number 1, More Than Words. Classic, timeless ballad. Fantastic melodies and vocal harmonies throughout. My top 3 is nearly the same, or is the same 3 songs, but slightly different order. So my number 3 is also Get the Funk Out. I love that song. Like I said, it's got that kind of almost pseudo Red Hot Chili Peppers vibe that I enjoy. My number 2 is More Than Words. I don't generally love power ballads, but this is a good song. I know Jason's gonna hate it, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. It is one of the it's other than He-Man Woman Hater, it's probably the only real song on the record. It's good. And my number 1 is He-Man Woman Hater. I just think the music in the song carries it so hard. And look, the lyrics are trash, but they're actually kind of catchy trash. So I'm into it.
All right. So I agree with Josh on my number 3. Decadence Dance. It's actually not a terrible song. Unfortunately, it being the opening track, it really just kind of sets you up for just chasms of disappointment.
No reason for that song to be 7 minutes long.
True, but it is, like I said, it's not terrible. And then the two songs immediately after it are so bad that it's just
Little Jack Horny.
yeah.
Dancing to the decadence, yes.
Yeah. So
That's-
my
it
number
sucks.
two, surprisingly, as much as I hate this song, I'm not going to
More than words.
I'm not going to just shit all over it. I do want to preface that I experienced this when it came out,
And it was
what
everywhere.
and people will need to understand. CDs were a thing, but not everybody was rushing out to just buy CDs. They were not replacing their cassette tapes in mass. So when I say that this was on every fucking place that you went, it literally was. Back in the day, you had VH1 and MTV that actually played music videos. It was on 24/7. If you turned on the radio, it was on. If you went to the dentist, it was on. If you were in an elevator, it was on. And it makes me want to vomit. But it's a good song, so it made my number two. Although I don't ever want to hear it again. And number one, I have it written down as best song that doesn't make me want to vomit, and that is Wholehearted. Solid song, not great. None of these songs made my Spotify like list.
Like none of them do you ever
None
want
of
to
them.
hear?
I don't ever want to hear this stuff again. And that's my top
All
three.
right. So, as we started on the Judas Priest record, we know that the sweet spot in metal records is 8 songs, and rock too, as evidenced by the Boston record last week at 8 songs. So, Jason, if you had to make a super record here and cut this down to 8 songs, which
would I
5
cut?
songs are you cutting?
All right, so just outside of it, number 9 on this that I would cut. I want you to know that you guys like this song, but it is cut, and that's He-Man Woman Hater. It is
Dude,
Yep.
that is so stupid.
It is right. It is right there.
Dude, it's not even close to right there. It should be at the tippy top.
Let's see. And then we have Pornograffitti, the title track.
No.
Does absolutely nothing for me. Little Jack Horny.
Yeah, that song fucking sucks, dude.
For fuck's sake. That is my note, for fuck's sake. And When I'm President, which is basically Beastie Boys but worse. And easily the worst song on here by far. And I can't even say this is a rock song, is When I First Kissed You.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
do.
think do you need one more? Or is that 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Jonah doesn't have 5. He didn't get the quest for doing this. So, but he does have a bottom 3, fortunately. So we'll get a little bit of an idea. He says it's a long album. This warrants a bottom 3. These are 3 of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. Number 2, Susie Wants Her All Day. What? That's his notes here. I can't with this. Lyrically face palming. Okay. His number 2, Song for Love. This Ain't It is his notes. Chorus is corny as fuck and bad. And then his number 1, When I First Kissed You.
There we go.
Even more cheese, not the synth strings. Like, as in, not the synth strings. I wanna die. That's his notes. And then it says, this would have been tolerable with real stringed instruments given the genre it is attempting to emulate. So there it is. My 5 songs that I would cut. Song for Love, When I First Kiss You, It's a Monster, When I'm President, and Susie Wants Her All Day. What? God, those songs fucking suck.
You would leave Lil Jack Horny on your fucking list?
I don't want to, but I had to cut 5. And those are the 5 I chose to cut.
Oh my god.
Dude,
know
look,
what? Okay,
dude, the
so, wait a
chorus
minute.
is a little bit catchy. It's terrible, but it's like Little Jack Hornet. Dude, the song sucks. This album sucks. Okay, this album sucks balls. But
Oh
I
man.
had to make. Look, these are the tough choices that you have to make when an album is
Gosh,
horrible.
gosh,
I
I
mean,
just
look,
want you to know when I first went through this, I sent Dave a text. I was like, dude, listen to When I First Kissed You. And he's like, what's wrong with that song? And I'm like, I mean, if you're a Frank Sinatra fan, I guess nothing. For a rock album, it sucks dick.
oh my god. Uh, all right, look, I don't have this in a particular order other than the first two. These first two are by far the worst two songs on the record, and some of the most just absolute dog shit songs ever created. When I'm President, I don't. It might be. I don't know. I don't know where it ranks in like top 100 like worst songs in my entire life that I've ever heard. I hope I get that one day. Like when I die, I hope I get to see like that Spotify list. But like it's like Godify or whatever. I
Oh,
don't know.
Godify! Dude, that's so good. Oh man, because I was gonna say like Heavenify, but Godify, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
that shit. That shit. That's a better saying than a single lyric on this record.
Yeah. So when I'm president, it's absolutely terrible. Lil Jack Horny, oh God, dude, cut it, please. When I First Kissed You, atrocious. Susie wants her all day what? I don't understand it. And Jason, you're the dumbest person in the history of time. Wholehearted needs to be gone from this record. What a
come
terrible
on.
song. All right. Hey, we've reached that time of the show here where we like to give our score for the record. Just give you an idea of our scoring system here. For a lot of folks out there, the average score would be a 7. For us, it's a 5. So anything that gets a 4.9 or below, like this
Would not
record will,
recommend.
it is various levels of we would not recommend it. Anything 5 and above is various levels of we would recommend, with a 9 to a 10 being like an all-time classic record. I'll go first.
Well, hey, I think Jonah's score should go first, and then you can go because I think Jonah's gonna have the highest score.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Jonah's at a 5.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Barely right.
He landed at a purely average score. He thinks it's recommendable for somebody, huh?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's probably only purely for the guitar work. He doesn't specify why he gave it a 5, but Jonah does. He averages all the songs, and that's what he came up with. So.
Yeah. All right. I'm at a 2.1.
Wow.
Any just no final thought. Just 2.1. It's dog shit.
I would love to know where this ranks against Venom and
You gave Venom like a fucking 0.
I would like to know where this ranks against Venom and where it ranks against that other band that was in that top 50. I can't remember their name all of a sudden.
Like, you wanted your score or the average when we're done?
Yeah, I mean, we don't need it right now. We can talk about it offline, but
Okay.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
I'm just curious. I can't remember the other record. Emperor?
Yeah. I'm at a 3.8. I think this is... I basically gave it 1 point for every song in my top 3, and then I threw an extra 0.8 for Nuno.
For a couple solos.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, 3.8. I mean, This isn't literal garbage, but it's close. The guitar work kind of pulls it out of the absolute dumpster tier, but only just. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So it looks like I'm going to have the second highest score. Even though I do not like this band, the strength of, look, it's hard to deny the strength of More Than Words, even though I hope I never have to listen to it another day in my life. And even though Josh hated Wholehearted, it was a big hit single for them as well.
I have no idea why.
Based on the way that I score, this almost came in at a barely recommend. But I just can't, in good faith, recommend this to anybody.
That's how you know your scoring system is broken.
No, it's just based on those two songs, basically. I gave it a 4.6. And if I had to listen to it anymore, it would just continue to go down.
What score did you give Wholehearted?
I gave it a 26. So it would be.
What?
Yeah. It's a solid song.
No, it's not.
It's the only song that I don't mind listening to.
26. 26.
Yep.
Bro, what?
Oh my god.
Dude, this scored better than Emperor.
As it should.
It also scored better than Venom.
Which I liked.
But and better than yeah. But the average score is a 3.88. So I mean, look, I'm just saying.
Yeah, they got it right.
I got it right. That's not a good score, right? Just to be clear, even though high scores are very hard to get on this channel, given that there's 4 of us, low scores are also hard to get. So when something is this low,
so congratulations, Extreme.
Yeah, just not for us at the very least. So,
yeah. Well, hey, if this video is not for you, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're putting out weekly metal content right now. We got metal reactions, metal reviews, metal time machines, metal brackets, and all kinds of other cool shit. And in the meantime, live long and prosper.
Take it easy, everybody.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.